Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. I would love to tell you that forget AI, forget generative AI, but unfortunately, fortunately, it's here to stay.
So bring to go in front for it to go back.
Thank you. I think it's as I said, here to stay. In a profession like coaching, if you think about it, one-on-one meeting with individuals, the pandemic came, so I'm an executive coach. I would go out to my clients and meet with them one-on-one. The pandemic, we couldn't meet. All of a sudden, we're meeting virtually, and we replicated that. Now, what's happening with AI? What's happening with technology? I make lots of presentations in a lot of coaching conferences, and coaches are worried. They're like, will robots overtake our profession? Is it something that we're going to have to deal with? And we're seeing how technology is affecting our profession. Certainly, there are opportunities to become better coaches by the use of technology. There are lots of apps. There are lots of software that is available to become a better coach, to enhance your skills, to evaluate your coaching sessions. There's a lot of technology that's going to help you grow your business, identify new sources of revenue, new customers. So there's lots of things that are affecting the business. I think in general, the one-on-one coaching is probably going to be transformed, but in its presence, in what we do for coaches, in what coaches provide to individuals like yourselves, that is probably going to stay the same. I can tell you my presentation today really is talking about transforming the workplace. And I wanted to just tell you a little highlight of who we are. And we are the world leader for coaching professionals. We have 55,000 coaches in 170 countries. And coaches come to us for all things coaching. So we want to make sure that coaches have the skills, knowledge, and experience to provide you with great a coaching experience. And we have an ecosystem of 6 distinct family organizations to address the needs of not only individual coaches, but organizations as they're building coaching cultures. We also credential coaches. So we have 50,000 credentialed coaches. So there's a methodology, there's core competencies. So if you're in the process of hiring a coach or establishing a coaching culture, I encourage you to look at credentials to make sure that individuals that you're working with know what they're doing from a coaching perspective. We also have coaching education. We accredit training and educational institutions to make sure that you're getting qualified trainers and that they're doing. We also have a foundation, and we have a Thought Leadership Institute that is really talking about and doing focus groups with individuals throughout the world to see what the future holds. What is the future of work, and how is that going to change? And for us, more importantly, and for you, how we can adapt and make those changes and transform the workplace so that we can really gain perspective and competitive advantage so that we can continue to be successful. We saw this morning that the former IBM CEO said that 10% of jobs that exist today are going to be extinct. I think the percentage is probably going to be higher. But what did she say? Like 90% of other jobs are going to be transformed, and that's true. I mean, if you haven't used AI or generative AI or ChatGPT, I encourage you to do that. The more you use it, the more you will want to use it, and you will find ways. I started a few months ago saying, what is this thing about AI? How can this work for me in what I do? I find that the more I use it, the more I want to use it. And the more, in fact, just recently, I was looking at, we did a webinar and we had about 1,500 participants from all over the world. And I wanted to know, get a sense of who we reached, who was coming from where, and I put, normally I would send the spreadsheet to my assistant and I'd say, can you please put a list together, find out where these people are from, what countries, what continents, how many people from where. It would probably take her a few, she's pretty good at Excel. She'd probably sort it out, probably take her a few hours, send me back the report. Maybe if she's really busy, it'd take her a day. Maybe she'd give it to me the next day. So my faithful assistant, ChatGPT, did it in less than 2 seconds. And it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I said, no, I want it by continent, with the number of people, by country, alphabetically. 1 second later, I had the exact report that I wanted. And I was like, wow, I'm not going to tell my assistant because she's going to feel like she's going to be replaced. But so that's what we're doing. It's not that it's going to replace us, it's just going to make our lives easier, and we're going to be able to do more things with the technology. We want to make sure our vision is for coaching to be in everything we do. A world where coaching is integral to everything that we're doing, making sure that we are transforming lives of individuals as we go along and affecting or transforming societies. We also are member-focused. We are supporting our members, and we're also supporting organizations. And I think as important, we're empowering people and making a difference in everything we do. So we know that the workplace is changing. Automation, AI, certainly the basis of this conference, the content of this content is all about AI and automation, making lives easier. We're also experiencing a tremendous shift. Especially younger generations do not want to work in an office. They don't want to go to work. Is that the case in the Middle East, in the GCC, in Oman? Are you experiencing where individuals want to stay home and work remotely? Show of hands. Not. There's still a lot of people that are going into the office. I can tell you that that's a trend throughout the world. Companies want their employees to come back to the office so that we can collaborate, so we can have that energy. And employees are going, I'd rather stay home and not fight traffic, and I can be as collaborative with, what do we have? We have Teams, we have all sorts of Zoom, and we have so much technology that we can interact. WhatsApp, we have technology to get along. Certainly globalization, the world is changing and continues to expand globally, and making sure that now we can get products and services from anywhere in the world. We're trying to maximize the way that we are providing services. Also, there's a lot of work, and I'm speaking to an esteemed group of HR professionals, and we know how important it is to have a strong workplace culture. Engagement, we know what it is to have individuals that are actively disengaged and affecting the culture of the organization. We have to change it somehow. Certainly AI can help us with it, but we need to make sure that we talk to our collaborators, the people that are working with us, to make sure that we can provide a workplace where everybody feels comfortable, where everyone is productive and engaged. And we're talking a lot about well-being, making sure that employees are feeling good about working. There's a lot of talk around mental health and the workplace, making sure that we are addressing the needs of our employees, whether it's through an employee assistance program or some type of counseling that we do to address those needs. So we have some requirements of modern leaders. We want to make sure resilience, certainly, inclusiveness. We also have literacy, digital literacy. We want to make sure that individuals know how to use technology. We want to reimagine the workplace, and we know that it's being transformed. We have 5 generations working side by side, and we need to address that. And before long, there's going to be Generation Alpha that's coming up. I think they're 12, 13 now, just a matter of time. Imagine when those individuals join us in the workplace where technology has been a part of them. They don't know what life is without technology. My 5-year-old granddaughter's friend or best friend is Alexa. She asked Alexa to play music. She asked Alexa all sorts of things. You know, I'm feeling like she doesn't need her grandfather because Alexa can answer all her questions. And that's what the individuals that are joining the workplace are going to expect. As a university professor, you can imagine that when I am lecturing or I'm engaging individuals that want for me to impart knowledge, they're challenging me because they can Google anything that I'm saying and saying, "Professor, that's incorrect. I saw a study that was just published." So as professors, we're also being challenged because we are providing, and as leaders within organizations, as HR professionals, we're being challenged. Because, in fact, I have a daughter who is a physician, and she has patients that come in with a list of exams that Dr. Google has suggested that she order based on the conditions or the symptoms that the patient has experienced. So my daughter says, I have to say, I am a clinician. Let me see if, so even physicians are being challenged by technology. And there's obviously pressure points, purpose. Lots of employees are coming into the workplace trying to find purpose. I think that's what we can do. We can provide individuals with what is the purpose? Why are we in business? And why are we doing it? High-performing organizations are finding coaching very effective, making sure increasing productivity, profitability, retention of staff. So there's a number of things that coaching can do. We had a study in 2023, just last year, defining what it is of a coaching culture. And we can see here employees valuing coaching, senior leaders valuing coaching, managers and leaders using coaching skills. In all of these, we see how technology is improving the way that we provide these services. Also, having a dedicated budget to really develop your people and making sure that they use coaching to their advantage. And technology is helping us reach all levels within the organization, not just the senior leadership team, but technology is helping us reach all individuals from the very senior level to the frontline employees in accessing coaching and making coaching available to everyone. So strong coaching culture obviously boosts engagement, increases commitment, and elevates job satisfaction in general. We're seeing how different levels are receiving coaching, so still very high in the senior level. By generation millennials are coming to the interviews and not only negotiating salary and flexibility in the workplace, they're asking for, if not remote, hybrid, the opportunity to work from home at least a few times a week. But they're also asking for, when am I going to get a coach? Because they know that they cannot progress in their careers without having somebody help them think about the next step in their career development and then location. Leadership development, communications, decision-making, these are the types of things that coaching is used for, and then obviously succession planning. We want to make sure that coaching is in everything that we do, from the macro to the micro, in all conversations with everyone at work, and outside of work as well. So I wanted to share with you a couple of best in class. We recognize organizations that are using coaching to improve their engagement, and we can see that AstraZeneca just last year won the ICF Coaching Impact Award, and managers and leaders use coaching skills at a cost saving of $3 million US. So they were able to really demonstrate that there were significant cost savings. OQ, I think you recognize who OQ is an emerging coaching culture winner. An ROI of 127,000 OMR, 49 coaches, 530 employees, and 80 leaders have been trained. Intel, Tata Consultancy, STC, strategic framework to transform their growth and measurement, 252% ROI, $84 million, $2.6 million cost savings, and 289% ROI. These are real statistics where these organizations have implemented coaching to transform the way that they're working. So if you haven't tried coaching, if you haven't implemented coaching within your organizations, I encourage you to look into it. Ask AI what it recommends that you do as it relates to coaching, and I'm sure that they will provide you with some great advice. And as organizations are building coaching cultures, here's what we think you should do. Have a vision. Have your senior leadership get together and think about how coaching can transform the world of work. And more importantly, how can we go from what we're doing today to, more importantly, what we need to be to continue being successful in the future. Build a business case. Have senior leaders or champion the cause. Have metrics and analytics, very similar to what we saw in the slide, where you're talking about what is the return on the investment that we're making. How can we significantly change the productivity of our organization? And how can coaching help? Train and develop your coaches, internal coaches. Phased approach, obviously have patience and flexibility, and celebrate the successes that you have. I want to thank you very much for inviting me once again. It's a pleasure to see so many familiar faces and good friends, and I encourage you to accept AI, evaluate the opportunities to use coaching, and wish you lots of success. I will see you around if you have any questions. Love to entertain those with you. Thank you.